Day 12,462. Um, what am I going to talk about today? Let's see. Um, I started playing the Silent Hill 2 remake for the second time. I played it once before back in the end of last year. Towards the end of last year. Thought it was really good. I was very, very skeptical of it because the team that was making it was really not one that had a great track record, in my opinion. For the most part, they made some decent stuff, but overall, they were pretty lacking, in my opinion, in a lot of games. Interesting style with some of them, but just delivery was always very much a mixed bag. Anyways, so I was quite skeptical, especially doing a game when they typically do more walking simulators. I was very surprised they were going to do a game that had like full-on third-person combat and all that shit. Turns out they pretty much knocked it out of the park, and especially in a franchise that I probably consider to be one of my favorite games of all time, easily top 5. Definitely, I'd say my favorite horror game of all time. Anyways, so I played it, thought it was really good, very pleasantly surprised. And I like how it stayed true to the original, but they made innovations with it, made it like a longer game, and pretty much all the ways that it extended the game, I liked pretty much all of it. I do kind of miss some of the stuff of the original. Like, I kind of really liked the graphics of the original. It had a very unique style to it. I like that sort of fixed camera angles. I was a bit iffy on the new, more realistic graphic style and all that. But overall, I thought it was, like, really good. I liked that it kind of was its own thing while still being true to the original. Anyways, it's a great game. I digress. But I was playing it again today. And just, like, playing it again, since it follows the same storyline for the most part as the first one, as the original one, and in particular hearing like the music that is very similar in some ways, all the same music as the first one, just really hit me with like a major nostalgia moment. Just reminded me of like how I was super into Silent Hill when I was like a teenager and whatnot, early 20s, but especially when I was a teenager, like in high school, I was super obsessed with Silent Hill. And it just reminded me of how much it sucks that, like, that part of my life is just completely over. And how, like, even though I do still really have a fondness for Silent Hill, it just doesn't hit the same way anymore. I mean, I think it's just a testament to the fact that, like, pretty much nothing hits the same way that it did anymore. I just feel really like everything, even stuff that I should like, used to like, or still like, whatever, that at least that kind of stuff should at least be giving me some kind of boost, I don't know, some kind of proper positive vibe, some true genuine enthusiasm. I don't even know how to articulate this, and it does, but everything, you know what it is? It's not that everything feels muted. It just feels like the volume's been turned down on everything. I still definitely feel, well, I guess I would even say negative stuff. The volume's been turned down on that. Not as much, but it's just a pervading numbness affects everything for me now. Part of it is just, I guess getting older, realizing unfortunate things about life and whatnot. Just things getting kind of stagnant for me. Part of it's probably just on a neurological level, dopamine burnout and all that, as I was saying yesterday. But I think that another part of it fundamentally could just be the fact that, like, just the magic of life has just really been extinguished for me. And I think it affects pretty much everything. Because the thing is, like, even when it comes to negative things, the fact that they don't bother me anymore, one might think that that's like a comfort, but I find it quite eerie as well that, like, just sad occurrences in life just don't affect me anymore either. That I'm just I still process it, but again, the volume's just been turned down on it. The last time I was really, really, truly sad was about a year ago. I was incredibly sad. I was probably one of the most saddest, fucked up emotional states I've been in my entire life. That's when I was experiencing psychosis, though, so that could probably be why. But since then, just my emotions have just been so muted and diminished since then. I just don't feel true investment in stuff really anymore. I just don't feel engaged by life at all anymore, for better and worse. And I really fucking hate it. To be fair, even before I had my psychosis, I was kind of like that as well. I feel like that was just one moment in my life where just the floodgates opened and whatever, all this muted emotions, I guess they didn't go away. They just got put behind like a metaphorical mental dam, and the dam just burst, and it all just came out in a really unfortunately timed and very uncomfortable flood that just basically drove me crazy temporarily for a few months. And now I'm back to normal. I'm more stable, I guess. More in control, but I just feel like a fucking zombie now. I just feel like I'm just kind of existing to exist, going through the motions, feeling a little bit of an engagement in my day, but overall, not much at all anymore. I think maybe the closest I get to feeling truly alive is when I'm doing art, specifically when I'm succeeding at it. When I'm failing at it, I just feel frustrated as shit. And it actually just makes me feel, I just feel frustrated as shit. So it doesn't make me feel alive. It just makes me feel like I'm almost choking on my own tongue in a weird way. Because I feel like my artistic expression is one of the only things that feels like the most authentic way to really express myself. So when I'm fucking up at it, I feel like I'm just, like I said, I'm choking on my own tongue, my own metaphorical tongue. I'm just tripping over my own artistic self and shit. And it's incredibly infuriating. And I'm also not getting my vibe out properly because I'm just tripping over myself. But I don't even know what my point is with all this. I think it's just fucking sad that part of my life is gone and will never come back again. And that, in turn, whatever magic I felt in the world, even though being a pretty depressed guy throughout my whole life, I still at least was definitely much more invested in life and had at least some hope for life when I was younger. And I don't have it anymore. I really don't. I'm definitely very much a nihilist now. Part of it is because I just fundamentally think it's the truth. I'm open to being proven otherwise, but as far as I've seen in this world is just nothing matters in this world. And I was kind of thinking that if I look at it the right way, it's a liberating thing, but the more I think about it, the more I just think it sucks. I think it sucks to be nihilistic, but I just feel like that's the truth. I think the truth is that, nothing matters. Fundamentally, nothing fucking matters. And any notions we have that they do, they're just convenient illusions we tell ourselves, because realizing nothing matters might liberate you from the shackles of shitty things mattering, but it also liberates you from the shackles, or not the shackles, I guess in some ways shackles sometimes, but the boon of good things mattering too. So I don't know. I feel on the one hand definitely more in control, technically more free, but it just fucking sucks. It sucks to just really not be engaged by life, to really see, at least in my view, again, I might have my view change, but to see what I think this world is really about. And I don't even know if I'm going to say anything new here that I haven't said before, but I just was thinking about that when I was playing that game. It just made me really longing for that period of my life, which I know it wasn't perfect. I definitely know it was, and I'm not going to be totally with rose into glass and say it was amazing. I definitely had problems back then, but I know for a fact, I can guarantee for a fact that I was definitely more engaged by life back then. I was definitely not as numbed out and indifferent to it. I know maybe I wasn't as excited to wake up every morning as I was as a kid, but even as a teenager, I still had a bit of that. going on for me. There was stuff I cared about, really. And now I feel like I still care about things, but I care about things more in a logical, practical sense rather than feeling it. I don't feel care for things anymore. Granted, it is stupid to base your caring purely on vibes alone and feeling alone, because feelings are bullshit a lot of times and very misdirecting. But a life where you're just numb and detached and barely feeling things is barely a life at all, frankly. And that's just how I feel now. I feel like I'm just that. I care for stuff, but because I have a sense of obligation to care for stuff, but not because I feel care anymore. I just don't care. That's it. I just don't emotionally care. I don't emotionally care. Let me say that. I guess that's it. I just care because it's the right thing to do in principle. But that's it. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't really feel like there is an answer to it. There's always that thing in my brain, which I think is just a coping mechanism, that will tell me that one day I'll figure it out. One day I'll find a way to enjoy life again. One day I'll find an answer, da 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 da. But I think it's bullshit. I really think it's bullshit. And somebody out there who's watching this might think that I'm just being negative, that it's just my perspective, that this, that, and the next thing, that I'm just tripping over myself, defeating myself before I can even start. But the thing is, I have humored myself that I'll figure things out, that I will find my way out of this. I've done that before. I've given in to hope and really tried to keep persevering and thinking that, if I keep going, one day I'll figure things out. And all it did to me was just make things worse. It just made things worse. It just made me feel disappointment. That's it. It didn't put me on a path towards getting a new magical sense of enjoyment out of life. It didn't come up with some new magical solution to make life, with all its ills and horror and disappointment and dread and fucked up shit. It didn't suddenly make it all make sense to me. None of it. It just made me more and more disappointed. So I'm done. I'm done with hope. I'm done thinking things matter. I'm done thinking there's some magical solution out there in the world that will make everything right, that will somehow justify the fact that life is just a series of loss in slow motion. That's all it is. You're given stuff, you experience it for a while, and then it's all taken away from you. And again, to go back to my point at the beginning, in the end, not a single fucking thing matters. Nothing. You don't matter, I don't matter, nothing you do in this life matters. I sometimes even wonder, why do I even do quote-unquote good things? Like namely, right now, not to toot my own horn, but I fucking volunteer at charities and stuff like that. And I sometimes wonder, if I really don't think anything matters, why do I do that? And maybe it's just me trying to performatively fight back at my nihilism and just be like, yeah, I know nothing matters, but I might as well be a decent person to some capacity. And it's the closest thing that feels meaningful in my life right now, beyond my art. So, why not? It's not a big deal. It's not that hard to volunteer, honestly. So, just why not do it? But again, I just don't feel anything from it. I really just don't feel anything from it. I don't feel moved by life anymore, even by doing good. Nothing. I'm just existing. I'm just a fucking zombie. I feel like I've really suffered multiple metaphorical deaths in my life, and I think that I kind of reached the last one, and that's just what really killed life for me fundamentally. And that was almost a year ago when I just realized that the last thing that in my life that I was really holding out hope for is well, maybe I'll find some purpose in life and some meaning in romantic connection. And I had an incident that occurred to me about a year ago where I really, really felt super infatuated by somebody I never had before in my life. It was stupid, it was irrational, but love is always irrational. And after that fell through, I think that just killed it for me. I just realized no, I don't think this is for me. And that just really that was kind of I think I realize now, that was the last thing I was holding out for, that I was oh, maybe I'll finally just find some true joy and reason to feel lifted up by life from that. And when that fell through, I'm I'm done. I'm done. It was so devastating to me. I don't ever want to open myself up to that possibility again in my life. I felt like such a fucking idiot. I felt pathetic. I felt wretched. I felt just rejected on every level. It was just, it was easily one of the worst experiences of my life. And the fact that I still care so much about it just makes me hate the experience even more. I don't think I've ever been quite as disappointed in my life as I was by that moment, and I think that's probably why my mind just fucking collapsed in on itself, and I had a mental breakdown. And after that, it's like, yeah, I don't want to fucking open myself up to the possibility of love anymore. And not only that, I just don't think I have the capacity anymore. I think it just killed that part of me that even if I was hypothetically gonna try and open myself up to the prospect of becoming romantically involved with somebody, I think it just killed it for me. I think it just totally sucked the magic out of it, and I just don't think I can ever really view the prospect of romance ever the same way again. I've become a complete cynic about it, and I just don't believe that the world can ever do anything to show me otherwise at this point. I might be wrong, but I just don't believe in it. I've never had a proper relationship in my entire life. I'm in my mid-30s now. Why should I fucking think that it'll ever happen for me at this point? And frankly, I don't even think I really want it to happen for me at this point, because I just don't really think it is what I hoped it was. And that's true with a lot of other things in this world. I just don't think that so much of what this life has on offer really is what one hopes it to be. I think a lot of it's just a mirage that we project a lot of things onto. But when you really see a lot of things for what they truly are, there's just always some sick or unfortunate or just tragic truth to it that just kind of fucks up the mirage. Maybe not entirely, but to some degree that just sort of makes it unfixable again once you kind of see that aspect of it. And I don't know. I can't trust. I don't trust this world anymore. I don't trust this reality. I don't trust anything. I don't trust even my own mind fully. That's kind of why I feel like, as much as it sucks, being sort of neutral about things at least keeps my mind somewhat more in check. Keeping me rational keeps just the absurdity of my mind, from going just in stupid directions. But the problem is, letting one's mind off its metaphorical leash is the only way to really feel engaged by life. But if you do that, life becomes a shitstorm. So you're kind of beholden to the whims of your mind and to life itself if you sort of let your mind go free. But I don't know. It's either you domesticate your mind and have it imprisoned, or you let your mind go free and have it fucking drag you by the reins or something, by its reins. I don't really see any other medium between that. I don't know. Maybe there is one, but I haven't found it yet. And I don't know. I don't really know if I have anything else to say. I'm just sad. I mean, conceptually sad. I don't even feel sad. I just think I should be sad, but I just don't feel it because everything is just volume turned down. I feel a whisper of sadness because, the volume on my mind is just turned down. And it makes me conceptually more sad that I don't feel properly sad. But again, it's all just conceptual. Nothing is really registering fully. My emotions are just completely burnt out. That's the thing. I am burnt out. I know that. But it just never stops. No matter how much I try to relax myself, ease myself, decompress myself, I always feel burnt out because I just feel from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, everything is a threat or an exhaustion or this or that. Life is just fundamentally laborious. I feel like life is just a predatory threat from the moment I wake up to the time I go to sleep. And I can't ever not feel burnt out because just all of existence is burning me out. So there's no respite. Even sleep is not fucking respite for me. It's not. I almost never feel properly relaxed when I even sleep anymore. It's just nonstop. Ugh. I mean, the best I can hope for is sometimes it gets so diminished that it's almost gone, but it's always there. It's just this pervading sense of just unease. Constantly. 24/7. Constantly. Just unease. This world just... This world basically, to me, at its best, feels like a shoe that's like one or two sizes too small, and at worst it feels like that shoe has like nails inside of it and and is alive and is actively trying to eat my foot. That's what it's like. So at best I can be like, oh, I feel like I have like a small shoe stuck on my foot, but it never comes off. It never fucking comes off, like I said, even when I'm asleep. And I just missed the time when I was younger and I didn't have that fucking shoe on me. I don't know when it exactly happened, but I think the shoe slowly started to manifest once I became an adult, and it just got worse and worse, and now it's just a full fucking shoe and it just won't get off. And I don't know what to do about it. Yeah, this shit just sucks. This shit just sucks. I don't know. I really don't know. I really do think this life is just a punishment or something. I can't really think any other reason why things would be so fucked up. It just feels so beyond just a bunch of unfortunate random chance or coincidences to just be chalked up to that, to just chaos. I really feel like this existence is fundamentally some punishment for some reason. For everybody, not just for me. I just feel like maybe I'm more privy to that fact. But again, I don't even know if it is a fact. It just feels like it's a fact to me, but I could be completely full of shit. And that's part of the madness of this whole thing, is that I'm not even sure if it's a punishment. And it's like I have to gaslight myself into thinking that I'm crazy for even speculating that the universe is out to punish us all, because there's no fucking like demonic overlord with a whip that's saying, ha ha ha, I'm here to punish you all. It's just... It's another layer to the punishment, is that I'm not even like... I can't even fucking put a face on the punishment that is existence. It's really fucked up. The whole thing is so fucked up. Yeah, God. It's like, fuck. It's just... I don't know. All I can say is, like... We must have been fucking assholes to get this punishment, because this is fucked up shit. This is fucked up shit. Or maybe we weren't assholes. Maybe just the universe is just sadistic and just wants us to suffer because it gets a fucking giant boner off of making us suffer. So maybe we're being punished for not even doing anything bad, just the mere act of existing. Just little playthings put out there to suffer because, I don't know, the God is a sadist for some dumbass reason? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I've got nothing else to say. I realize I'm already straying into repetitive territory here with stuff I've already said many times before, but I had to make an entry today. This one actually ended up being quite long, so excuse me on that one. Yeah, it's just fucking sad to engage myself with things that remind me of a better time that I know is never going to come back. And that I feel probably even some other equivalent variation of it will never happen again in my future. It's all down here from hill, folks. Downhill from here, folks. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just being negative. I mean, I am being negative, but am I being wrong? I don't know. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. No, genuinely, I do hope I'm wrong. Please, I hope I'm a fucking idiot and that I'm just being a negative asshole here and that I'm wrong. Please, prove me wrong, life. Please, go ahead. I welcome you. I would love to feel like a fucking idiot. Genuinely. Make me feel like a dumbass. Show me that I'm completely wrong, and show me that you're worth it as an experience and that things are actually going to somehow make sense to me. Go ahead. Prove me for being a nihilistic, negative asshole. Prove me wrong. Okay. I'm done. I've said all I had to say. But yeah. On a more positive note, I don't know. On a more neutral note, yeah, go play the Silent Hill remake if you haven't. It's great. Highly recommend it. So, yeah, go do that. That's a way to end it. Go play it. It's a great experience. So, I'll leave it with that. All right. So long.